Talking to me yet?
Hmm?
You talking to me yet?
No.
Talk, just talk.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Just talk.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, I can.
You hear me?
Yeah. All right. So when you talk,
Tested mic 1, 2, 3. Hello.
test one, test. You talk again.
Hello.
Okay. What phone are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Tap menu on iPhone. Tap this. Setting. Tap. So I link device. Or point your phone at this screen to scan the QR code. Okay. Try. Tap menu on Android or settings on iPhone. Tap link device. Oh my God. Setting. I did it last night. Oh. It's set on the iPhone. It's set on the iPhone. Try another one. Seven Y W N H. Login with key error. Yeah. slow. Oh my God. You know what? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring that computer here.
It's switching here.
Yeah, I'll switch the computer.
Yeah.
Oh God, we'll go in live.
Why
now.
try the challenging your face doing
Pause it. I wouldn't
when you
forget
pause it,
one.
oh,
Forget him.
or mute it. Mute. Hit the mute button.
Where is it?
Right there.
Yes, 1, 2.
so,
Um,
so, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube, Facebook, and whatever you're watching us from live, this is a exclusive interview with the community chairman of the Iowa community in Waterloo, to be specific, Waterloo Cedar Fall. So, on this panel, we were choosing not because of our close proximity, it is because our curiosity in understanding as to what is unfolding and where our community is. So on this panel with me is
Mr. Abraham T. Massacre,
so
member of the community.
so for introduction, I'm Eric P. Koluba, a member of the community. So alongside with her is the community chairman that you already know. I guess you don't need introduction, but for the sake of those who will have the opportunity to watch a live interview and do not know him, Mr. David, can you please introduce yourself to her?
and so I'm Cornelius Jutonun Davis, the president of the Liberian Association in Waterloo and Cedar Falls. I've been in the community for about 14 years now. And so I'm married and I got 5 kids. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. So we'll go right into the interview. We want to make this as transparent as we can. There will be a lot of questions going out to the president, and he will give us answers to that. If not, we'll still get back and clarify. But the interview is meant to actually clarify some of the issues within the community. We know the president, he's been um, leading this community for um, almost 2 years now. And today we intend to have this very important interview with him to line up some of his achievements and challenges during his term as president and also his intent moving forward. So, Mr. President, I think people watching will want to know who is Mr. Cornelius Davis.
All right, so guys, please, I will come back to your question. I'm texting to see if we are getting audio. For people linking. So is there any way we can link to see if we're getting audio because I want to make sure that those are clicking the link and going to YouTube can make sure that we are getting audio. So you guys please let us know if we are getting audio.
Where's the link?
If not, we can fix it. Um, the
Yeah,
link.
I can see.
Go to the community page. We should be able to see the link, or maybe I need to paste it again, right?
Yeah, the link is square and
Getting some?
You getting sound?
yeah.
Okay,
So please let us know if you are getting sound. Um, Let us know if you are getting sound, and then we can go into the serious matter. We said we're going to be starting at 2 o'clock, and we are going to. Uh, all right, so let me repost the link. 1 minute. I want to repost the link. I'm going to repost the link to WhatsApp. I'm going to post this as a message. Um, I'm going to repost the link. Darlington, someone just tell me that they are getting the. So we just repost the link. We are live now. Click on that link again and see if you are still getting audio. That's very important.
Yes, the audio is on.
All right. So a lot of people see that getting audio. So you need to click the link and then
It's on.
So let me check in back with this guy who can start. All right. So that's it. When you guys click the link, you should be able to see the audio now. But still give it a heads up. And we should be good. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's.
Okay, so we are back. And again, Mr. President, thank you for having us today. And thank you for this all important interview. I think the community wants to hear from you, and they're going to do that through this interview. The first thing, Mr. President, I know a lot of people hear this name, Cornelius Davis, Liberian President, Cedar Fort, Waterloo. Who is Mr. Cornelius?
So I want to answer the question. Cornelius David. Cornelius is a very, very, very um guy that grew up. Saying my grandmom used to be a farmer. My mom, working class. Both my mom and my dad worked for Lamco. So I was born in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. And you know the war, right? I have a lot of curiosity, travel all around West Africa and Africa, Asia before coming here to the United States. And so I'm married. I got 5 kids between my wife and I, and we got 5 kids to a very beautiful, my beautiful wife, which I love so much, been very supportive. Jackie Johnson Davis. Um, and I've been in this community for 14 years now. I've been in the community. Um, I am in university doing data analytics. Besides that, I'm a professional um, product designer and graphic designer, and my products are all out there. There's a lot of work that I've done as a professional graphic designer. I've worked for the president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So anyone that ever put their hand on the Presidential Diary 2009, that's my work. And some other work, if you image award, if you know a good image award, and then that's my work. So yeah, so that's me. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. President, upon your ascendancy to the presidency, can you tell us on the live interview what was the status of the community prior to your ascendancy?
What was what?
The status of the community prior to your ascendancy to the presidency.
And so I would like to say this because I was coming from the outside when a lot of community people contacted me and say, Cornelius, there's going to be the power vacuum. No one was going to run for the position of the presidency. At the time, I was on the board, and so like, man, you've worked so hard for this community. We're going to carry you. We believe you can bring a serious change. And so um, when I took over, I was shocked in that after 2 years of my brother and Michael G presidency, and during the last year of Jake presidency, this the because when you register a non-for-profit or an organization, whether the business, you got to file papers every 2 years. And so because we didn't file the paper to know, okay, this is our staff, this our this, understand. So we're putting administrative dissolution. That means we are assuming this organization is dissolved, so we remove them, they are no longer active. So that is a state in which I met this organization in. It was an administrative dissolution, in which was in September. That means September of Jake Johnson Jr. last term. This organization was never legal. So that's the state I met the organization in.
So, Mr. President, can you tell us or tell the Liberian community what is the current status of the community now?
So my pre I just said that when administrative dissolution. So because when I came in, I was about work, right? And so during the transition, I was thinking that I would receive a lot of documents, the bank accounts, you know, what was in development because I have paid for 501c3. I funded 501c3 to the Michael G government. I paid for that for them to have the 501c3. I also went on and paid for 2 years where the organizations were hosting a meeting. I paid those money from my pocket. I got receipts to those. And so I came in like contacting, the leaders, the vice president, all of these people to know the status where we are, where I could start from on the 501c3. And so I found out that no one could answer me nothing. And I was only given a sheet of paper that just said, the various report, financial report, and balances. But I didn't have no access to any of the money, no cash, nothing. And so I went on to start to make a research. First, I needed to get a financial entity, to help us structure and train our financial system, train all the leaderships, including the board and secretary. And then I found out that no, you guys are illegal. You can do nothing. So I'm like, what? We are illegal? Yes. At the same time, around that time, the board have gone down and found out also that for sure the organization was not in the system, was not legal. So I said, yes, Mr. Chairman, I've just found out and I'm on it. So I sought out all the board members
So just to inject, so that you were speaking to the board chairman at the time.
at the time. No, the current board chair,
Correct. Go
the,
ahead.
the current board chair, Mr. Patrick Toba. And so he went down for something to the city council to meet the city mayor and the city council members. And then they told him that this organization was illegal, it was not in the system. So he found out the same time that I found out. And he was calling me and I said, look, I was going to call you too because I just stumbled against the same thing. And there's nothing I can do. So since I'm president, I'm going to fix it because the organization already registered. So I contacted Iowa Secretary of State, and they told me, make a call. They told me exactly what relevant document I needed to file. So I called all the board members for their names and the addresses, all the officials that were elected and the addresses, and I filed the paper. Look, my fellow community member, it's only $10 to file that paper. And so I filed the paper, and then within 24 hours, I got a letter that we are not legal back into the system. And then I took the next step because I never wanted to waste time. Since I could not hear about the money I paid, who were the lawyer or not, none of that, I couldn't have nothing. So that I decided to contact IRS as to what I need to do. And so we're making research, So it was difficult because I'm now a lawyer to put a non-for-profit for the organization. It's very difficult, right? Um, yes, and so that's how I consulted with on ASICO because he got a 501c3 for the LIB kids. I consulted with Darlington Deba because they got a big five. He's the president, and they got a 501c3. And I contacted Jake and said, "Well, all these guys contacted, I'm hearing it's going to cost us $2,000 to do this paper." And then Jake Johnson said, "You that good at the computer, you better try. And if you try, maybe you can." Get something done. If you fail, then we can go to a lawyer versus paying $2,000, right? So I'm like, okay, instead of paying $2,000. It took me 10 hours researching on the computer, going back and forth. On every questionnaire is a 10-page document. You understand? And I filled it up, created the IRS account because you got to create an IRS account, go to pay golf, and then I filed the paper. I was scared, thought I made something. And within 3 weeks, we had a 501c3. I contacted the board, I contacted everybody, and that's how we got a 501c3.
So, Mr. President, do you care to tell us how much was spent? Because you say initially you have said it was $2,000, but because you did it on your own, how much you think you spent within that time?
And so if we have take the right of going to the lawyer, it will have cost us $2,000+ based on consultation. And when I filed the paper, it was $275 US without using a lawyer. So that's what it cost us.
Thank you, Mr. President. So moving forward, I know you ran for this position, you won the presidency, and during our campaign process, there are a lot of promises, right, made by our leaders. So I want to know, or I know people in the community want to know, how far are we so far with your campaign promises?
All right. And so my campaign promise when I ran against Michael G, I said, first, we need a 501c3 because we cannot collect money from, we cannot hustle, right? We cannot be using our money and we cannot file our money back in taxes. We need a community center because we can keep having meeting, here and there on Saturday, and then changing the organization address here and there. And two, we need resources, right? We need to train people. We need to train our kids, their culture, a lot of things because our food, we need to do all of that. And so, then when I took over after Michael G, since decided not to run again, and when I won, it's the same campaign promise. I did not change that. So one of the campaign promise I was going to make sure that I achieved the 501c3. Yes, we did. You understand what have it. You got to remember now, this community been around for 30 years, since around 1995. 30 years, you understand? According to my record, first Liberian I settled here was around 1995. So we've been around for 30 years. You understand? And no one was able to pull this up. No one had the discussion until I started bringing this discussion up in meeting, at least for the past 10 years. Maybe those discussions happened before me, but I'm on the record for that. And then I was able to achieve that. Two, the community center. We needed land, we needed a building, we need something, right? And so, how will we do that? For the past 30 years, no one had the gut to go to the city mayor. They were friends with the city mayor. They know what the city mayor office, the city council is. One of the campaign promises where I said we need a community center. So I filed a petition to the city. I asked for the meeting, and the city mayor granted me the meeting. I was not the only person. I took 5, 6 people with me to the meeting. And the city mayor, when he saw the documents and the petition, he like, wow. He said, well, we don't have 500,000 to give you people because I'm requesting 500,000. We do not have a building to give you. But I said, but we need something. He said, well, you know what we have? He said, we got a land. We can give you the land. I said, how much would that cost? He said, no, we can give you the land for $3. We can give you the land for $3, but is there going to be the contract for you guys to build the community center between 3 to 5 years? So we were able to achieve that. He agreed. And as we speak, the city uh, planner, director of city planning, is now instructed. He's looking for identifying couple area to show us, and we're going to choose between those 3 areas. It was said in the meeting, we were 5, 6 people in our meeting again. Richard Wading, on Jake Johnson, on Willow, you understand, and some other Liberians that are with me. I just named few people. The brother Willow that is taking care of the children right now. I invited him to that meeting. Abraham Masakwe and Yama Dixon, they were in our meeting. And so this is not a make-up thing. So we had that guarantee and that commitment. Then how will we build this thing? There's one of the discussion that I have with the city mayor was, look, Cornelius, if you guys are, 250, if you 250 times 250 people, you should be able to build something, right? And I said, that's true. And then, okay, and we are non for profit. So yes, we can tax the people, to do this. So during my inauguration, I said, we're going to push for this. And we had overwhelmingly, we have over 60 some more people pledge, and 1,500, it was $5,000 pledge plus 1,500 was $1,520 was collected, and we still have that money because that money is allocated for that. You understand? But the Democratic caucus in the state of Iowa were coming, and they wanted to give us an award, and they came to the Darlington House. You understand? And I'm supposed to speak and talk to them. So what I was thinking, what is the opportunity? So I believe in leverage. And so in that meeting, you understand, I was able to pull from them to agree that they're going to raise this money this year's June. They was going to raise the money to build a community center. So I can tell you, I am 90% I've achieved 90% of everything that I said in my campaign that I was going to do for the community. I've achieved that.
So, Mr. President, I keep hearing you talking about 501c that you got. How do the community or community member benefit from the 501c? You care to tell us that?
So this is what it came about, right? Because people are complaining, oh, we paid our deal. You understand? And we don't see nothing. What will benefit? And I put the question back to myself: why do I benefit from the deal that I pay? You understand? I believe in meaningful coexistence, meaningful life. You understand? Meaningful organization. They got to make sense to me. And so that's where the vision of the 501c3 come in. And so from the time that we got a 501c3, every cent that you pay for, You can now file by in taxes and you get a tax benefit. That's the first benefit. So it's very, very important that we have the 501c3 too. Any organizations can give 1 million, 2 million, and they can read it back off. They can file. They're not going to be afraid to give us money. And that's why we were able to pull for the first time in the community. A donor was able to give us $2,500 for the children Christmas program. So that's some of the benefit that comes along with it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the treasurer.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the treasurer is here, Mr.
Yeah, I want
Yanko.
to ask
You
you
wanted to
one
say,
question.
no, treasurer.
Yeah, that's good. So thank you, Mr. President. So moving forward, I want to say again, thank you. You just explained on your achievements and your promises to the community, and I think you're doing pretty good so far from everything you just explained. So moving forward, we understand that there are a lot of little bit of dispute here and there um, in the community. Some people feel like maybe you're not doing certain things the right way. Some people feel the other way. How do you intend to handle those disputes under your leadership? Thank you, Mr. President.
So I want to say this, this is what I feel, right? I've listened to both sides. I totally disagree. In this community for the past 4 years, I disagree that this community is not united. This community is fully united. You understand? And people, the only thing we have been doing is right when a problem arises, you understand, we want to set up that dispute, go out the party involved, you understand. So on the front of resolving issues, we have done everything. In some cases, the party will say, we do not want you to get involved, you understand, and we don't, you understand. In some cases, the parties say don't get involved. In some cases, where the both party agree for to get involved and settle the matter from the community leadership standpoint, because when people are hurt, you understand, they take different situations. So in those cases, one party agree, apologize, and the other party say no, I'm okay. I don't want to accept the apology. I hear you people. You understand? In some cases, we were able to make sure that people do not, you understand, especially the issue of fake pages. We're able to go after it and reduce the amount of fake pages to talk to people, you understand, that were in conflict and say, look, you guys need to stop this. If you are in conflict, you understand, the fake pages, there's a likelihood there's a finger going to be pointing at you. So the fake pages were able to be reduced. You understand? I got a lot to say to that issue, and I want to close on this. I understand when two best friends decide to go lock her hair and for each other, I understand that blame is on the community. I understand when the husband and the wife, you understand, got serious issue, that issue is on the community. I understand when someone suck tea at you or they look at you somehow with their problem is on the community. I understand all the personal dispute. You understand? But we will do everything in our power. What we cannot stop is when someone gonna get angry with another person, when someone gonna be in dispute, we cannot stop that. So that is not our making. Our job is to add it to the best of our ability to be able to solve all this problem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Koba. So thank you again for addressing that. As we move forward, every community has a leadership structure, and looking at the relationship between the board and the executive, you hear the executive in the community, you're the president of the community. We have the board and we have the board chair. What is the working relationship with the both leadership teams in terms of how do you guys get together in terms of problems, in terms of solving community problems? And what's the current relationship with the board and the executive? Thank you, Mr. President.
And so this is not personal because I didn't come to community leader to look at people's personal situation and take a lot of issue personal, between people that are in the board and on the executive, right? Our job is to do the job. And I came in with a very fresh mindset, a new mindset, you understand. And what I understand is people are comfortable with the old way of doing things, you understand. Everyone love the community. That's why they ran in that position. I believe and strongly believe those on the board they do care, and they want good in this community. What I think the conflict are between the board. Currently, there's a conflict between the board and us is my leadership is look, I'm looking at a very brand new mindset of how things work. And so you just saw that for the past 30 years, there were things that couldn't be done because of the fresh mindset, different strategy, different approach. You understand? We started working. I was expecting that the board would come along with me. You understand? Because the Constitution said the board should work with the executive. And so to work with him mean the board should be able to, they will pay the deal, they should come to meeting. And if they are not coming to meeting, they should text the president, you know what I'm saying? Or secretary, this is my excuse, you understand? I got work to do. I understand with people working in this country very much. But we need that respect. And that respect was not given. You understand? If you don't give respect, you don't get respect.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I guess you've been elected pretty close to 2 years now, right?
Yes.
And did I hear you say the committee is supposed to go to election?
All right. So because of the same dispute, people not agreeing, people in the board and executive not agreeing on a lot of issues. You understand? There was a resolution passed because the Constitution said our election should be held every 2 years because the executive is supposed to be there 2 years, and then that election should be held in March. So the election should be held in March. That means you will have your elections at the time the new leadership take over to align with March, because the election that put Michael G in power, you understand, did not align, you understand, with with the Constitution. The board at the time when it passed a resolution, you understand, to have election, late. And so Michael G went into it 2 years, you understand, two, and the election that brought me to power, the board had to pass another resolution to have my election. So 2 years is going to be over in August. So I'm expecting, because it doesn't align, there should be the resolution. And so that is the path to that position. So my 2 years is not over yet. The Constitution clearly states that the executive should rule 2 years. My 2 year ends in August of this year.
Okay, Mr. President.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Mr. President, if I heard you, you said the Constitution says the board should work with the president or the administration in charge. Now, and the Constitution is not being specific as to what work should the board do with you. What do you intend to do about that? Because in my opinion, the Constitution has been ambiguous because it's not telling us what work they should do with you or what work you should do with them. How do you intend to handle that? Because the board is already going about, according to you, trying to set up election time and day. How do you resolve that with the board?
And this is what I'm talking about. These are some of the dispute, right? I'll be honest. I'll be very honest here. We got elements within the board, you understand, that want good for the community, and they agree that, look, your 2 years not over. We'll always pass a resolution. I got a solution to fix that. You understand? And the way we can fix that on the issue of the Constitution and clarity, when you look at the Constitution, it said the board should appoint the election commission. Period. That's done. And then two, the board should, when they appoint the election commission should request from the executive on the members that are qualified to run, to vote and run, that are qualified. So we have the list of who are qualified. So what make people to be qualified to be able to run? What make me to be able to even take a decision on behalf of the community? It's one thing that the Constitution spell up. It say you must be in good standing. In good standing means you must attend meeting and you must pay your due. So the board took over in the last 4 years. They only pay 1 year due. And when we took over from the last year of Michael G and our 1 year and a half almost, the board we do not have no due record. According to the last record that I saw with the financial secretary, there's no due payment of them. And we have not seen um um legitimate excuses from some of the board members, not all, some of the board members about why they will not come to meeting. So if for the board to right now to elect election commission, you understand that was illegal because you can't have anything to say about the people when you're not paid due. For you to be able to do that, you must be current on your deal. So how can you elect election commission? So that's a serious issue.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I will go back to the same question, maybe a little different. But my question to you is, looking at our current constitution that govern this organization, are you satisfied with the current laws that were crafted for the constitution, or do you think there should be an amendment done to the constitution? Thank you, Mr. President.
Look, thank you for that question. I'll be honest. Right now, um, the reason we are having a live on YouTube, because I'm part of the interview, I can take over the technical aspect, but I could pull over on the side for the viewer to see. That was one of the reasons we have this live on YouTube, because we could bring all this slide in. But I want to say this: I have draft a proposal of amendment. There should be the amendment on number one. If the board do not do some certain thing, you understand, what specific we can do, what are the steps we can follow to be able to move them, you understand. Two, including the executive. Three, on the issue, we elect our financial secretary. I think that's terrible, because if certain things do not happen, and look, the financial report, you pay your money, you already cry. I can't do it, you understand. And there's no report can come on, and what if the report cannot come on time and all of that? It's disturbing. Then it makes it look like, oh, the president, is not doing nothing. But the person that was elected to do that job, if they're not doing it, you understand, then there's just virtually nothing I can do. And I wrote the board on some of this issue that we need them to take step on this issue. You understand? And so there's need to be a clear financial policy and system placed into the constitution. I want it to be constitutional. You understand? So that not every time another person will come and be changing financial policy. You understand? Because we do not have a sound financial policy. And so all of this thing will be spared up exactly about what. So there's serious amendment that need to be done. We are already draft one, and I intend to select and appoint a constitutional reviving committee that will do that before my term is over, and we're going to vote on that.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Harry, you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
Mr. President. Let me just drive you away a little bit from the issue of the community constitution. If I got you right, Mr. Mazakwe asked you a question related to people who feel disenchanted, people who feel neglected, people who feel abandoned by the leadership of the community. What is your plan at about this time in terms of reconciliation with this group of people that are sitting on the fence and begin to say, look, we can't go there, we can't be a part of this? What are plans do you have for the form of reconciliation with them?
Look, I want to make it very, very clear. I'm a very, very private person, and I have and I love a one-on-one relationship. And so there are a lot of people dream of my leadership that will reach to a lot. Yes, some people we could not reach them because of work schedule. We work in this community, because of work schedule. So sometimes the time that I have to reach that person, they go to work. You understand? Some people working in human service, weekend they gone. You understand? We are off all weekend. And so so this community, I want to tell you, this community is together. And for those, I want to clarify something here. You understand? First, for you to be able to vote as a leader, I know the other people have been doing it. We've been passing resolution and say, well, the people will not pay nothing. Right now, we got people that will never ever be part of this community. I can name you 5. No matter what you do, they just want to be on the side. They don't want to be part. They want to come to the meeting. They don't want to be part of the meeting. But do they still interact with other people? Yeah, we still show up to the birthday party, to the occasion, but they just don't want to be part of this thing we call law. And then there are some people that are discharged and say they were not happy. They are going away, and we talk to them. You understand? But if you have a dispute with someone and we try to settle a dispute and you guys cannot agree, And because of that, you want to use that on the community, then there's nothing much we can do but what? Keep talking, to you that the community is bigger than the dispute you have with this person that you got refused, even though we intervene for you to settle, right? But this time around, that's what I was pushing for. Now we want to know who really care for this organization. I believe those people that support them in my inauguration that donated will be publishing their names and say, Mr. Davis, we stand with you. Like the Kekula family, the names are there. I'm talking to you people directly. I'm saying, this election, I will work with the board after we settle this dispute so that we can pass a resolution that when you come in to vote, before you be allowed to vote, because the Constitution says you will pay a deal, it will not be blank this time around. You're going to pay a portion of your deal. But if we're not going to do, because we want to know who really care. They say, put your mouth where your money is. And you guys did it for me during my inauguration. Let's do it this time around so we can do the better thing for this community.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. So I want to go back to that question Mr. Culver just asked you. Well, in terms of the dispute that we just talked about, I overheard you saying you usually do the one-on-one that is private, right? But my question to you is, do you think it's going to be important to have a day set up, just like a reconciliation day, where people can come and we all can sit down and people can express themselves on how they feel about what's going on? Are you open to that?
So it's not just I've been open. That's a yes. It's something that we have in the plan. You understand? But we gotta fix the board and the executive. We gotta fix the issue of the board paying the due, because I strongly believe that you can't take any decision. You can't do nothing if you don't even abide 100% in leadership by the Constitution. So for us to do that, that's why everybody say Cornelius after the money. Yes, I'm after the money because we wrote this paper. We walk in snow to read the document. People took the time, and I respect it. You understand? I don't take it lightly. So we need to bring all the executive and the board together. We're going to be 100% with the Constitution. That means we're going to pay our due. If we're not going to go in the meeting, we're going to say yes. We're going to say excuse and why we can't go to the meeting. I understand for the memo. I understand. We got to do our job. I understand that. But no, not for the board. So yes, when we fix our situation with the board and with the meeting, you got to understand that this is not personal. What I'm saying is legit. It's the best way forward. You understand? If we're in leadership, because you're going to come with not just the board and the executive. All the fault is on the president. I take all the fault. And that's why I want to fix it. And so we're going to fix it from the top. And then we're all going to come together. We and them will agree. And then we will have a very big meeting for reconciliation.
So, Mr. President, I want to go back a little bit on the Constitution. I heard you say the Constitution says it should be in good standing. Does that good standing interpretation, the interpretation is that you should pay your due? What is good standing?
So I heard a lot of people try to misinterpret, the good standing. The people try to twist it. It's very straight and plain. You can't second guess this thing. The major of good standing that is bearing, the major one is one, you must pay your due. And let me tell you how you're supposed to pay your due. Because when they try to spin it to you, and I know they're going to be lying to you people about it. Yes, they say you can decide every month when you come to meeting, you pay your due. Every month. You start doing it every month. You say, no, me, I could forget sometimes when I come to the meeting, and I want, when I go to the meeting, to be able to vote and take suggestion and pass motion and raise my hand and do all of that. For me to do it, I would get paid straight 3 months. Constitution say quarterly. And they say, no, man, my own, I will get paid every 6 months. They say biannually. And then they say, no, man, I'll get paid whole year. So the whole year, I don't get nothing to think about due. And that the thing I just found out, it's called annually, pay annually. That's what the Constitution say. It didn't say wait until 1 year past before you pay due. No, because you can't take decision even in meeting. And we've been violating the particular aspect of the Constitution. And I'm saying no. I'm going to fix this thing for us to have the understanding and have one understanding on this thing. And so that is good standing. You must pay your, even if you're not coming to the meeting, send your due. That's good standing right there. So that even you member, you own the something, that's good standing.
Yeah, Mr. President, thank you. I think your interpretation for good standing, it is from your point as a president, from where you read, because the Constitution says good standing. In my opinion, Mr. President, that has been ambiguous.
I'm asking you, please face us.
No, I'm
President,
facing you the same way.
Mr. President,
We asking you face
Yeah,
us.
but if I
When
do
we
that,
asking you face us.
oh,
That's
Mr.
how
President.
the should be.
Oh,
We asking
okay.
you. When
In
you're
my
addressing your people,
opinion,
you can look at it, but when we asking you, face us.
in my opinion, Mr.
I thought we
President,
always just
the
face in general.
Constitution is being ambiguous
You know,
because the issue of good standing could be interpreted in any form, in any way, based on the reader and his understanding about good standing. Do you think that the issue of good standing is it not causing some confusion? Is it not some of the reason why you and the board being a loggerhead, because the board is interpreting good standing from a different point, because it's not being exact to the point. And yeah, it's not being clear.
specific.
It should be specific. Good standing should say, look, you should be in good standing by your due payment.
Right.
You should be in good standing by going to community meetings every day.
Correct.
You could be in good standing by just making sure that you
Yeah.
go on Facebook, go to the community page and write. It's been ambiguous, Mr. President.
So I want to clarify this. You understand? We wrote, I wrote, and was part of the debate that we wrote this constitution, and so that's why I morally, you understand, constitutionally, I have the mandate to be able to interpret that aspect, and it's for that principle that I'm standing on. If I was not part of the framework, then I don't have the right to be able to interpret. We'll be looking for a different body. We'll be talking about putting reform. Yes, I agree. We need to put more clarity, but I'm telling you, the good standing is come to meeting and pay your due. It's point blank. It might sound this way. That was our intent of putting that good standing over there. Is due and coming to meeting. So that's it. If you don't pay your due, and that's when you go to the other section of the Constitution, it tell you how to even pay the due. You say you can pay it straight 1 year, 2 months, every 3 months or every 6 months in advance. You understand? It say you can pay it. It said because if you cannot look at this while I'm saying this is good standing, it say you cannot be part of, you cannot take a vote in a general meeting if you're not in good standing. That means you're not even pay your due in that meeting. So that was the intent, and that's why we put it. But yes, there should be the reform to clarify and say this is good standing.
Okay. Before we come back to you, Mr. President,
Mr. Secretary, want to say? Finance Secretary, want to say something? Okay.
Hear from the financial. I think
Yeah.
you have something to say.
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
Jonathan, and I'm the treasurer. I just want
You
to
are
You
ask.
gotta raise your voice.
You're
Audible.
Yeah, I want to ask the president one thing. What is one thing never feel will make you smile?
No, man.
Come back. What?
What is one thing never feel but make you smile? Make you smile, make you happy.
One thing never failed that make me happy.
Yeah, make you smile.
So I want to say that one thing that never failed that make me happy is God. God, and I believe in Jehovah. God, you understand? He's never failed, and he always made me happy.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So we have 10 minutes left to climax this interview, and we still have a few questions for the president. Mr. President, we've listened to you, address most of the issues. What do you want to say to the people out there in the Waterloo and Cedar Falls community who feel disenchanted and feel like the only way they can address their grievances is by staying away instead of being part of the community or coming out and expressing how they feel about whatever is happening? What do you want to say to those people?
So this is what I want to say. All right. I understand. Look, there's two aspects of it. You got people that are going to school full time and they work full time, and then they have another full time job to take care of the family, and the kids. So if you look at that, you cannot even spare a single day. So you cannot spare. But it's very, very important that I would say for us to know that you are there. You understand? It's very important that you pay your due. Two, you are disenchanted, and you feel like look, reach out. If you don't say something to us, we would think you are good. You understand? And so reach to us, reach to the president, the secretary, and bring any idea, any knowledge. This is how we can get him going. I want to say this to one thing. because somebody came to me and said, oh, they say we're buyers. When people die in the community, we this one thing that unites us. When people die, party, we all come together, right? And people find time. I know we can't find time for the meeting every month, but I want to say this. This is a sister. And people are accusing her and say we're buyers. We didn't collect money. The first and first when we heard, I would not call the sister name. We heard the death of a child. You understand? I put a team together right away. We went there. When we went there, we met the family. You know what the family said? And said, no, we prefer help, one-on-one help. And I said, look, you guys are in good standing. You have paid for everything in this community. And what have you? So is this the time we're supposed to reach out to you, not just by coming, but we're supposed to reach out to you financially. Our constitution, and our board will agree that we call it $50 per person to give to you. You understand? This family, after consultation, they say, Mr. President, we understand all of that, but we just don't need the money. So that's why, you understand, you did not see us coming around or announcing. It's not that we didn't choose, we didn't care for that family. They decided not to collect money for the community for the death of the child.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me just ask you my closing question, Mr. President. Can you tell us what are some of the challenges faced by your administration currently?
So just the challenges, a serious one that I face by my administration currently is on the issue of everybody coming together at all time. It's one of the biggest challenge. Two, one of our biggest challenge is everyone was elected, and especially on the issue of finances. You understand? I would have pushed that every month on the community website we post our financial something. It's one of the biggest challenge where we just can't get to do that. You understand? On being clear on the financial something. And I have the authority and I'm following all the steps. And this is why it is important that the board work with the executive to make sure they solve this little dispute. You understand? Remember, for the past 4 years, during the 2 years during the Michael G government, he did not have the account. The Michael G government did not take over the financial account from Jake Johnson. So all the transaction they were doing, you understand, those money, I don't know where it is. We didn't have this money. So when I took over, I fought for that until we have the account, the official account organization. So we have it in our authority. You understand? So the treasurer, you understand, is in charge of that account. We have put money in. I have now single-handedly or with someone withdraw any money. So I wanted to clarify. I wanted to say to that. I want to say this to you people. This organization, the 2 years going to be finishing. I want for you guys to give me that chance. After the 2 years finish, the next 2 years for us to be able to build the community center.
Thank you, Mr. President. So before I ask my final question, is there any question that we did not ask that you intend to talk about? Let me give you that window for at least 2 minutes before. If not, then I will proceed with my question.
If there's any question that
anything that was not brought up that you
want to talk
wish
about
to address that you did not address or we did not ask you, I want to give you the window for that before I finally.
That's one question on the question of I wish we have more clarity on the confusion about election and people saying this. You can say anything you want to say to me. I do not respond to social media. You understand? Like I don't go back and forth on people. I do my conversation in the community group chat, which is private. But I'm not going to take to my social media page, my personal page, to and address community member in certain way and say certain thing about community member. I believe everything should be contained here. And I notice out there a lot of people have gone targeting me personally because they don't know me. You understand? Personally, they have been attacking me. And so I thought, and I want to address this because you guys didn't ask this, you understand? I'm hearing there's a couple of people on the election commission. If you attack anyone in the authority in this leadership directly and say, you are this, you guys are useless, you guys are there, you attack us, you already taken aside. We cannot trust you. We cannot trust you to be on that election committee or on that election commission. Period. We can trust you, and it's a principle that will hold anyway. You know, and so I just wanted to clarify that, and I thought you guys were asking about that.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we are climaxing this interview, and I'll go back to the president. Mr. President, we know we have election upcoming. Uh, do you intend to run for office again? And if so, what are those expectations that we should have coming forward for the new administration if you do intend to run?
Like I said, our time going to be over in August this year, and I've heard a lot of people and say, "Oh, go to election right now," and you go, you lose. You better go right now and have election. I strongly believe that um, if we go to election right now in March, I will win. Unilaterally, I made a mistake and posted on the community page, saying all the frustration. You understand that, let's go to the election, right? But after the executive, people in the executive call into a question and say, look, we did not have that decision. We are executive. And when we came back for the meeting, the executive decided that our time is not over and we intend for our time to over. And so I agreed and I said sorry and I misspoke. So when our time is over, I'm going to run again. And I can tell you the one reason why you guys going to vote for me again, because I can promise you, you will be having a community center already before the next election. I can tell you that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. So that's it for this interview. But before we climax, I would like for you to have your closing statement. If you have anything to close up.
So I want to say this, okay? In my closing statement, I want to say this. I love every one of you, even those that have spoken in negativity on the personal Facebook page, you understand, in private against me. Trust me, I love you. And I do not have an enemy in this community. So if you're thinking that you're my enemy or you want to make enemy become my enemy, you're making a mistake because I don't see you that way. I don't think that way. You understand? If you say something negative, I'm thinking maybe the person is angry, or maybe they got a point, or maybe they want to say something. Maybe that's the way they can communicate. But if you got issue, you got idea, call me, brother and sister. Call me. You're call me and let's talk so we can move the community forward. I'm very, very open-minded. I would take any idea, I would take suggestion, way to make it happen. I would take that. But the last thing I would say on the conspiracy when the Independence Day gone, I know y'all pay your money. I want to tell my high people, everybody that took part in the Independence Day celebration, I want to say this. This is one of the biggest deceit ever in my entire life, in my 40 plus year, and I want to call it up so everybody can know. Yes, no, I want to call this up better. I appointed a community member on the committee for the Independence Day to do on the sales. They came to my house and signed for that material, and they left with the material. When I requesting, without even knowing how the material was bought and what have you, I give them this material. And I was expecting him to come back to say, hey, Mr. President, I bring witness, come and sign here, you understand, and get your material this morning, what have you. They turned the whole thing on the politics and ran to board that did not pay for anything. I thought it was one of the greatest deceit ever in my entire life. That hurt me. Why those people are not my enemy, but I learned from it. And I promise that I want to make that clear. And that's why you guys have not seen your Independence Day report, because there was one of the biggest deceit in the community happened towards the leadership.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Treasurer, you have anything for your closing statement before we move over to?
Actually, it's like
we got 1 minute.
That's just one thing that he just raised about the independent. We raised $4,033 and some cent, and that money is not in our capacity right now because based on things that is not approved yet. But in the day, we're doing better and we're open to anything because our leadership is not about, you know, focusing on ourselves, but for the community as well. So that all I have to say, my brother.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
Yeah,
We have Mr. Eric Kolobat. Your closing statement.
yeah, thank you, Mr. President. It was a pleasure being with you today and being a part of this interview. And not my right, but that's a pleasure for me. So thank you, Mr. President, for allowing me to have the opportunity with you.
Thank you. That was the man Eric Kolobat. We both shared this interview to make sure we ask the president some questions. I think the community will watch the YouTube channel and later understand where we had the interview. As the president, I want to say thank you for honoring this interview. Thank you for the questions that was given. But again, to the community, you heard the president. He intends to complete his term, and he is running again for the position of president. So I hope you guys already have that in. It was an honor being here with you guys. I've been your honorable host, Mr. Abraham T. Massacre. And we'll do it for now. And hopefully in the future, we might come back with more interview from the president. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you again for the honor. Thank you.
Yeah.